We're here to see what you can do with some of the data in the G.W. Skinner Data Archive, starting with the China A dataset of county-level units from 1990. Skinner's dataset was constructed to support analysis through what he called the Hierarchical Regional Space Matrix. And you may have seen some of these matrices published, for example, in this article in Social Science History from 2000. And here's an example. The matrix allows us to situate any county or any township according to its location in hierarchical regional space, which includes the core periphery zone of each macroregion across the top, and the urban-rural continuum from the most urban central places down to rural market towns. We can recreate one of these HRS matrices from the data in the China A datasets that's available online, and I'm going to show you how to do that using a pivot table in Excel. So here is one of the parts of the China A dataset, and there are three key variables that we use to construct the matrix. We have A962, which represents the urban-rural continuum and its classes from 1 to about 26. We have A972, which is representing the zones, the core periphery zones from the center of each macroregion out, and then the macroregions are represented by two-digit numbers in variable A977. So we can display all of China proper, or we can display individual macroregions. We're going to start this by inserting a pivot table and choosing those variables as the row and column headers. So A962 is going to go over to the row field. A972 is going to go to the column header. And in case we want to select by macroregion, we're going to put A977, the macroregion number, up at the top. Then let's pick a nice data variable that we'd like to display in this matrix. And for this example, I'm going to choose A932, which happens to be a measure of high-level occupations that require a fairly high degree of education. This is high-level occupations as a percentage of the total labor force, and so it would not include agricultural occupations. And I'm going to drag this down here and put it in the values. We're going to do that again, get it right. There we go. And for some reason it defaults to count, but what we really want is the average of each cell. So what this is showing us is, for example, in the first cell, for all of the counties in China in 1990 that were coded as URC1, CPZ1, they average out 46% of their labor force was one of these high-level occupations. Let's change this to be show as percentages. That'll be a little friendlier. And let's narrow these columns so we can see what we're looking at here. And then finally, Skinner was fond of using a pink, gray, blue color scheme, so let's apply one of those that is conveniently available in Excel. So there we have HRS Matrix coded by percentage of the labor force in high education occupations, very high in the inner core, very low in the periphery as we'd expect, some variation in between, and then we can look at this for specific macroregions, which is what Skinner had in mind. We'll pull up region 6, which is the lower Yangtze macroregion, and we see the same pattern holds, even more differentiation. You see some blank cells because there are not any counties with that particular combination of CPZ and URC in the macroregion. Likewise, we can pull up the upper Yangtze around Chengdu and Chongqing, see what that looks like. Slightly different pattern there. All right.